Nstp started? Let's start it with a quote by Howard Zinn. This quote allows us to practice the values and patriotism that help us to contribute service even in a small acts that end up making the biggest difference. Let's proceed to the introduction on how Nstp started in accordance with the Republic Act 9163.
An act establishing the National Service Training Program or NSTP for tertiary level students, amending for the purpose Republic Act number 7077 and Presidential Decree number 1706 and for other purposes.
It says here that this law is intended for tertiary students in response to the public request for reform in the Reserve Officers Training Corps or ROTC program. It was signed into law by President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Its objective was to enhance civic consciousness, defense preparedness in case of emergency.
Section 1. This act shall be known as the National Service Training Program or NSTP Act of 2001. Section 2. Declaration of Policy. It is hereby affirmed the prime duty of the government to serve and protect its citizens. In turn, it shall be the responsibility of all citizens to defend the security of the state, and in fulfillment thereof, the government may require each citizen to render personal, military, or civil services. Recognizing the youth's vital role in nation building. The state shall promote civic consciousness among the youth and shall develop their physical, moral, spiritual, intellectual, and social well-being. It shall inculcate in the youth patriotism, nationalism, and advance their involvement in public and civic affairs. In pursuit these goals, the youth, the most valuable resource of the nation, shall be motivated, trained, and organized and mobilized in military training, literacy, civic welfare, and other similar endeavors to the service of the nation. Section 3. Definition of terms. For the purposes of this Act, the following hereby defined as follows. A. National Service Training Program or NSTP is a program aimed at enhancing civic consciousness and defense preparedness in the youth, B. Developing the ethics of service and patriotism while undergoing training in any of its three program components. Its various components are especially designed to enhance the youth's active contribution to the general welfare.
We have three components of NSTP, and what are those? First is ROTC. It has a specific objectives, preparation of college students for military training or service, and prepared as students for war for nation in the event of an emergency. The next is the Literacy Training Service or LTS. It is for future education to train college students in teaching literacy and numerical skills to school children, out-of-school youth, particularly to underprivileged children in the community. The hope of this program to teach them how to write, to read, to think, and to become competent in the chosen field. The last one is Civic Welfare Training Service or CWTS. It intends how to protect environment and community. It is designed to provide students in the activities to have a better life in the communities, especially to those devoted in improving health, education, business, and so on, in order to improve social welfare development. It provides seminars and workshops, enhancement of facilities, focuses on the improvement of the community, beautification, gardening, as long as the community will improve.
Legal foundations of the National Services Training Program. Commonwealth Act No. 1, also known as the National Defense Act, was enacted by the National Assembly of the Philippines on December 21, 1935. It provided for a obligatory military service for all male citizens of age between 18 and 30 undergo training in order to provide a military service, as preservation of the state is the obligation of every citizen. Presidential Decree Number 1706, otherwise known as the National Service Law, was signed into law on August 8, 1980. It made national service obligatory for all Filipino citizens and specified three categories of national service: 1. Civic welfare service, 2. Law enforcement service, and the last, military service. Public Act 7077, otherwise known as the Citizen Armed Forces of the Philippines Reservist Act, was enacted by the 8th Congress of the Philippines on June 27, 1991. The Reservist Act provided for organization, training, and utilization for reservists. Referred to in the Act as citizen soldiers, the primary pool of manpower for the reservist organization are graduates of the Reserve Officers Training Corps basic and advanced courses.
Well, that's all we have. Thank you for your interest and attention. Thank you for watching.